Exactly.
Woo. Hello. Welcome back to Encounter Roleplay on this fine Monday in the heart of finales week as we dive back into Mutants and Masterminds, Inquisitor, Warhammer 40k. I'm very excited and feeling very dramatic today, as you might be able to tell. But how is everyone else doing? Are you enjoying the start of your week? Did you have a good Easter weekend? Jason. I was about to call you Justin because I was reading your handle and I was like, that's not your name. Jason, how are you doing? And who are you playing today?
I am doing just fine. I had a wonderful Easter weekend. Thank you so much for reminding me of it. But yeah, at Just Jason Please on Twitter, playing Vasily Teltos, Incinerant of the Emperor, and soon to be Charred Corpse, most likely. You know, it's just something you have to mentally prepare yourself for. The eventuality of death, especially in the 40k universe. It's just good to be prepared, as it were.
I like that motto, be prepared for death. Kat, how are you doing? Are you feeling prepared for death?
Oh, I'm always ready to die. But I will die when the Emperor is ready to take my soul and not a moment before. And I hope to take a bunch of heretics with me.
I like it.
So yeah, it was kind of like Easter weekend, you know?
Yeah. And on that note, Pope, how are you doing? You are muted, my friend.
Yeah, I am so prepared. Just perfectly prepared. I am a ball of anxiety as both I and Kifkin don't want to go. It is just this is fraught with peril. We should have glassed the darn planet, and it's all gone to pot.
But I hear that phrase one more time.
I didn't use the E word.
This is true. This is true.
Just
I'm sorry, so
glass
how
the
was your
planet.
weekend?
It's the only way to be sure.
And how was your weekend?
Fruitful. Dealt with an entirely separate apocalypse. Surviving. Good.
Good. And what about you, Bastian? You looking forward to finale?
Yeah, I'm good. Well prepared. I made maps, which is pretty cool, and we'll see where that leads, right? Had a pretty good weekend. Did some nice video productions last week, so now on the chill side of the weekend. So yeah, perfect for me. And really looking forward to how you'll handle either your death or destruction. Your call, right? Yeah. But before we head into the death and destruction, I think you'll have some sponsors for us.
Why, yes, I do. Thank you for reminding me. Our sponsors are, of course, the wonderful Fantasy Grounds, which is our virtual tabletop of choice, and has not been set to give me all nat ones forever and ever at all. But yeah, we love Fantasy Grounds. You can get a free account over on fantasygrounds.com to try it out, and you can play a whole host of games there, including Mutants and Masterminds, D&D, and Call of Cthulhu, as you can see on this channel. So go and check them out. We also have, of course, Whaling Games, whalinggames.co.uk, for all of your gaming and tabletop needs, including Warhammer minis, GM screens, all of that good stuff for 20% off of retail price. And that's already included, no special codes needed. And finally, our favorite sponsors, don't tell anyone else I said that, Tabletop Loot, who make amazing dice that you could potentially win a set of if we hit 20 retweets today. So hit that button and go and check them out and see what pretty dice you would like. And may they always roll nat 20s for you, because we need them. You can, of course, support the channel in a number of other ways. The retweet that I've already mentioned, and also by donating to affect the game. You can give the players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and that table of pets is still here. Thank you very much for the Mind Mammoth. I'm very excited to continue to play with that today. And if you see a moment that you love during the show, hit that clip button, because we like to make highlight reels and laugh at ourselves and make lots of funny GIFs. So without further ado, I think it's about time we do a season summary.
Yes.
to get into the feeling, to get ready for this finale. And from what I remember in the beginning of the game, we were on a planet, we had intel on a guy called Calvin, who was a confirmed heretic. And we hunted him down to this prefab building where he and some other cultists had assembled. And they were about to flee through the back door as Safenya came marching up the street to the front, when they were met by Kipkin and Matilda and some Arbites and were promptly dispatched. Calvin broke free, legged it down the street, where Vasily and Safenya stopped him dead in his tracks. In the back of Calvin's neck, we did find this sliver of metal, and we noticed also the purple glow, the mysterious purple glow, which we've still not found an answer about, even after all of the 13 or so episodes we played. We set out to explore these clues, to track down where Calvin had come from and see how far the reach of his heresy had spread, and it led us to a planet, a processing planet and somewhat crypt world. And on the way there, tragedy struck as our navigator mysteriously died, and it was not the fault of any psyker that was on board the vessel. Pulling into the planet, we decided to go a little bit more incognito, as we were stranded here for some time until we could get a new navigator to drive our ship. Landing down on the planet, we presented ourselves as rogue traders, headed up by Antonius, played by Kipkin, and his assistant Matilda, whose fake name I've already forgotten. I'm sure I've got it written down, but I've already forgotten what it was. We secured ourselves a tour of a factory. Safenya went to inspect the church. Vasily went with her and checked out the Arbites and the Union. And it all started going wrong very quickly. The story that I can tell you about is when we went to that factory tour. We were hosted by a man called Joseph, who's fairly high up with Governor Malik. And he was touring us around. Matilda took some time with Sergeant Donny to get to know him and the workings of the planet. And Kipkin took the opportunity to show Joseph the little sliver of metal and to get it checked out using some of the factory's equipment. Shortly after it was connected to a little electronic device, Joseph threw himself in a vat of acid and killed himself. As Matilda, Donny, and the rest of the factory watched in horror and lacking explanation. I think at this point I'm going to hand our summary over to Kat, to Cleric of Cord.
Oh, so, well, Matilda and Kifkin were off cosplaying as rogue traders. Vasily was off threatening unionists with flamers, and Safenya was investigating everybody else. Eventually ending up in the Arbite office, meeting the head of the Arbites, a man by the name of David, I believe, who she was unable to read when she was looking to sense heresy. It was almost a blankness there, somewhat familiar to the feeling that she gets when she's near Matilda. Wonder why. After interrogating pretty much every Arbite she could get her hands on, literally, and finding no heresy, it was about that time, I believe, that Vasily was getting in a little trouble, blowing things up. I have such interesting notes. Not at all.
Isn't that like
thorough.
Every episode?
True. See, Matilda and Kipkin visited Governor Malik, who is not breathing on his own. He has a machine. Donnie reports to David. The governor doesn't really trust David. Let me think. I have notes on things that have actually nothing to do with what happened.
Oh, that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all theories. It's all
Wasn't it somewhere around that point when you put Vasily in jail?
Oh, well, yes. Poor Vasily. He managed to get himself arrested, and once Stefania interrogated him thoroughly and made sure he wasn't a heretic, he got himself tossed into general population, as it were, which he did really well in Gen Pop, which is not something you would expect of Vasily.
So how did you do in Gen Pop, Jason?
Yeah, a lot better than my colleagues seem to have thought of me. But, Vasily prospered in his short time in prison, getting into a fight with a individual who turned out to be heretical by the name of Max, I want to say his name was. Yes. After being sent to Med Bay for injuries received during that fight, both of them hatched a plan to abscond from the premises by means that were illegal? In any case, this was decided upon shortly before a series of explosions having nothing to do with Vasily, or indeed anybody else within the group, rocketed through several outposts and the headquarters of the Union, if I remember correctly. During that commotion, Max and his new friend Vasily decided to whisk the latter away to a man by the name of Cornelius, surreptitiously and, off the radar, as it were. After negotiating potential work with this Cornelius and in the presence of several other heretics, it was decided that Vasily would take on a job of some undefined importance. A job which involved human trafficking and smuggling. A job that Vasily was able to tell Matilda about through psychic means. Mainly that she intruded upon his mind in order to find out what was going on. After the group decided to lay an ambush for Vasily and his traveling companion, a heretic, and the individuals who had been medically induced into a semi-comatose state, the group crashed together, quite literally, and in reviving one of the affected persons, it was found that a cult of chaos had been taking root and taking human sacrifice of some sort into the fold for reasons that lay beyond the understanding of the group at that point in time. However, the destination did not change. Indeed, as we absconded to one of the 4 outposts within the general area, where I believe Kifkin would have more to comment.
Yes, where we after turning Vasily's companion Fox into the most unfortunate case of beef stroganoff, we made our way to Outpost 77 and had a heated discussion about the merits of their work and Vasily's short-lived human trafficking stint with the cult leader there, Eva. It was a very intellectual discussion had at Flamer/Lasgun point, in which there was a great deal of explosions, but things were found out, such as at that particular outpost there was some strange ruins that were being excavated. She also had with her in that outpost a map with a series of other sites crossed off, and Site 75. This information, the group headed off to a refinery to take stock of everything that had gone on, and to lick their wounds. After some conferring with Donnie, checking some different comm channels, made their way quickly off to Site 75, where they found an awful lot of Arbites who had apparently been sent by David to ensure delivery of a series of packages. Those series of packages happened to be most of those that were imprisoned in the capital. Over 100, which had been gathered for a purpose led by yet another cult figure to enact some sort of ritual. In trying to interrupt the proceedings, both Vasily and Safenya had to fight off this mob that had been enraged, where they started just killing whatever was nearby. Bloodthirster happened, or Bloodletter. I believe it was Bloodletter. Bloodletter happened. And then things got even more harried as an explosive package that had been procured earlier and was then set to explode was left behind by a particularly murderous adept. As the Inquisitor and Kifkin fled to leave both Vasily and Safenya fending against themselves against demons and worse. They managed to flee before everything got detonated. However, in peering through the wreckage, there was the sensing of, well, actually, Safenya's spotting as she moved the care package into the site where whatever was trying to be unleashed. There was a helmet, some sort of chaos-like artifact. And from there, well, things have gotten exciting and worse. Fleeing Site 75 and making their way, hopefully, back to the capital. We found out why Psychers are so distrusted amongst the far future within the Imperium, as when our industrious, intrepid, lovely Inquisitor tried to reach out with her mind, bad things happened, and all of a sudden, all of us were in Matilda's head, including Donnie, who was driving. After spending a short but exciting trip within the mind of the Inquisitor, we came to his vehicle.
I think Jason's having some internet issues. So, while he comes back, I think Matilda could pick up in her mind.
So we had a small tour of Matilda's brain. Found ourselves on a battlefield torn up by trenches and barbed wire. We see Kipkin and his mental form, a golem of ink and paper, Safenya, a small child in battle armor that feeds from her energy, and Vasily, an earnest soldier. They had a lot of fun exploring and discovering things, all finding their own little secrets out as they worked their way around the Inquisitor's mind, until finally they were all expelled as the car crashed and we all incurred some physical damage and returned to our senses. And I think Pope is back, if Pope would like to pick up the story.
Oh yes, and from there, Safenya, having dealt with a scout who was keeping track of us via buggy, procured the buggy. And with the most uncomfortable of rides, we made our way back to the previous refinery. again licking our wounds and trying to come up with a battle plan. After some less than pleasant food, most people bedded down for the night, including Matilda and Donnie, just curling up together as they have gotten close, and Matilda is seemingly using him as an anchor to try and realize what we're all fighting for. One good man. From there, procuring yet another vehicle, which then we quickly proceeded to get in another wreck. We hoofed our way to the capital, went through a service entrance to the local water system, and up to a mostly abandoned series of streets. And hoofing it further in, trying to get desperately to the governor's mansion, where Vasily decided to make friends with the local Arbites, try to guard said governor's mansion. There was, as usual, a terrible misunderstanding where Vasily then tried to use Donnie and his Arbites connections to very little avail. And I believe that's just about where we left off. Vasily
Matilda's
Oh yeah.
Matilda's out of her head. Literally.
Oh yeah. And Matilda has flown out of her own mind to go scouting. Trying to stop us from, getting into yet another firefight and possibly putting Donnie's life at risk. Yet again. So, that, I believe, is where we left off.
Yeah, she went running.
Mind mammoth.
She went running into the building, encountering a giant mind mammoth, which seemed to mirror or echo her wishes and manifestations within, I'm going to call it the Shadow Realm. I'm sure there's an official name for it, but I can't think what it is. And so she sees the firefight that's happening. She yells, "Stop!" She fails as usual on her psychic check, and everyone in the vicinity hears Matilda scream in their heads to stop. She sees the response and runs into the building. As Donnie, back in the car, watching over her body, hears this and thinks something is wrong. Oh no, he's on his way back to the car and decides to wake up the Psyker. Which is always a smart idea.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much where we ended. As you wake up to the sight of Donnie asking you, "Are you okay?"
And Matilda, coming back to her senses, kind of shakes and blinks. Where is that idiot? She's viciously angry and looking for Vasily.
Which
He's just kind of pointing out the windshield.
I just imagine at that point, Vasily has gone from the corner, dragging Donnie back, and busts through the door, saying "Sincerest apologies. I don't think these gentlemen are quite up to snuff." Oh, seeing Matilda's awake.
We don't have time for this. All of you get ready to move into the building. You will know when it is time. Donnie, I need someone to watch over my body for what I'm about to do. But I need you to not wake me up.
Okay, I can do that.
Would you like us to crash the gate with the truck when it's time, or move in on foot?
I don't think it will be necessary. Move in on foot.
Very well.
All right. Looks like I have to murder again.
Shrug, ignite the flamer. Roll
You
the
should
shoulders.
know there is something inside. It is wrong. There's something very wrong. But I was not able to get a full view. And she is looking at Donnie and then to Vasily. Very annoyed that she's been interrupted.
Madam Inquisitor, how long do you think this will take? I would like
Hopefully
to.
not very long.
I would like to scout close by just to get a lay of the land.
I don't think we have that sort of time. They already know we're here. And
Right.
Matilda is going to give a real quick summary of what she saw as she sprinted into the building. She didn't get time to take it very much, but
Want me to re-describe what you saw?
please.
Okay. So I will first pull up the map of where you are. So you are located on the just around the corner of the second street below the cathedral. Around the corner which you fired and were shot at. The green lines are streets, and the green lines inside the courtyard are stairs, steps up leading up to the door. As you entered the courtyard, there were still the two Lehman Russes you saw before. When you ventured inside, you noticed all the machineries and plugged-in servitors were dead or destroyed. There were still some servitor scrolls looking to bring around messages to people that were no longer there. And as you approached the throne inside the building, I actually got an inside look as well, which is this one. On the throne, you saw the dead body of Governor Malik, and that's when you were pulled out.
Yeah, I don't believe she knew it was dead. But she definitely saw him slouched there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motionless body.
Yeah. Okay, so she describes this and takes a breath. Are we clear? Good.
I guess.
That's Crystal. And just lift up the flamer, ready for action.
Donnie, I suggest just sit in the driver's seat in case anyone starts shooting the car. I would rather not be shot while I'm elsewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Believe me, if this works, you will know. And Matilda is going to concentrate and she's going to go into the psychic walking space.
You can roll me a psychic check. Just this week, unless you had more than one hero point, you get one.
Okay, and I had an extra one from last time, so I'm on 2 hero points.
Yeah.
So with my 10, that's a 16, which is a success. I've won. And Matilda is going to go out, and she's going to go towards the mammoth. And she is going to will the mammoth to basically just charge through and blast the guards that stood there with just destructive psychic energy.
Okay.
Just a massive, using its ears, using its trunk to just push and project all of this energy out.
All right. So let's see how we'll rule that.
So that's kind of like her psychic scream, but modified.
Yeah, basically you can use your psychic shriek for that. And the mammoth is basically going to help you do more damage in this case. So you will have to make a second psychic check.
And I'm not allowed to use hero points on these, right? Or is it just on the initial?
No. Just you cannot on the initial roll was to get out of your body.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. 20. Oh, it didn't come up. All right, reroll. 17.
That will do. That will work.
That was 28 though.
Meaning there's 10 at the barricade. You will hit all of them, and any one you actually hit will go down because they are minions. In the sense of the rules. Let me count. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did we didn't up the damage of it yet, right?
I don't think so.
Power, no. So that will be a DC 15 for half damage.
Mm-hmm.
And any that fails will automatically go down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that go down. as your mammoth kind of just barges through their minds, knocking them out completely. And
I can spend a hero point to get another action, right? Is that a
you
thing?
can spend extra effort to get an extra action in initiative, which is what we will roll now. Initiative.
Okay.
So anyone that would like to act in this combat,
That's 15 for me.
And initiative is plus dexterity, aye?
it's actually on your sheet probably.
Agility,
Oh.
plus agility.
Plus agility.
19
Oh,
for
never mind.
Savenya.
15.
And 15.
So the officers will have 17. We have Kifkin at
15.
15. Svenja,
19.
19. Matilda,
15.
15. Donnie will not act as he'll guard the vehicle. And Vesely,
15.
15 as well. All right. So Svenja will get an action before the Arbeit or the soldier officers at the barricade can act. And I was on my way to do this.
And Safenia is going to approach them and would like to. She is a sister of battle who is ready to battle. And using that imposing, I'd like to try to intimidate. Lay down your weapons or die as heretics.
Okay. You want to intimidate them into surrendering.
Correct.
Okay. You'll have to roll an opposed intimidate with their will or insight.
Okay. I'd like to use one of my lucks and re-roll that. See if I can get something higher than that.
You can if you want. Yes. 6 left.
That's much better. Nat 20.
Nat 20. So anyone that doesn't roll a nat 20 will throw down their weapons, which is all 6 of them. At least for the moment.
Then she's going to step forward and literally using the power armor, collect the weapons, just stomp on them, smashing them.
You can do that on your next action. Because we have a whole... on their action, they will actually drop their weapons and put their hands up. And then we have Kifkin, Matilda, and Vesely at the same time.
All right.
So whoever shouts first gets to do something first.
Does that count as a shout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout?
I'll take it. Vesely, what would you like to do?
Did they throw the weapons in any conceivable pile?
They are behind the barricade, but they are all standing behind the barricade with their hands up.
All right, I'll see that Safenia is going to try and stomp on them and get ahead on this. I'm going to literally light all of the individual weapons on fire.
Yeah, so you run up and you start flaming the floor.
Yeah, the floor around the weapons.
Okay.
And in front of them.
You can do that, but you will have to actually roll me something curtailing your weapon skills with this weapon.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I've got
Actually, something interesting.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I don't have combat skills in flamers.
No,
This will be
because
fun.
normally you don't really need to aim. You just point and you click.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck, crispy heretics. Hiya. I'm gonna use a luck real quick.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty damn sure.
All right.
As much as I would love it to sort of have my entire character burn himself to death. I'll see if I can't do better. Hiya. Much better.
Yeah, okay. With that roll, that's a 14, or do you add anything to it? Dexterity could be added. Like
if we're adding dexterity, then that would be it'd still be 14. Man, I'm not agile at all.
With a 14, you manage to set everything except the man with their hands in the air on fire. So the barricade is also burning. It's not that precise, but you manage to not burn them. And then at the same time, we have Kifkin and Matilda acting.
Afternoon, gentlemen! In accordance with the Book of Judgment, Chapter 32, Section 4, by the Code, you are hereby relieved. You are to report to the duty station with all due haste. Otherwise, you will be held in violation of the Book of Judgment and will be summarily executed by agents of the Inquisition. Now get out of my sight!
Is that also an intimidation?
More of a persuasion.
Oh,
but
persuasion.
You can do intimidation.
Yeah, whatever you have higher. And they are a lot more likely to actually listen now. They're still
25.
Yeah, they all look like they will listen to you. Matilda, are you gonna ruin their survival?
I'm really gonna ruin this chance of their survival. This is taking far too long. And the mammoth just kind of rounds and is just gonna bowling ball for the rest. I failed.
You failed. Well, that's a good thing, because I was about to remind you that your area attack is not discriminate, so it would hit anyone in the area.
I'm not too worried.
Yeah, but as you focus your mind power, the mammoth, it just veers off into the wrong street, not hitting anyone.
Sorry, no one can see except for Matilda.
No one can see except for you. Oh, they feel like this movement of wind with the where the smell of ozone just veers past them. Other than that, not much happens. So that moves us back to the top, Safenia.
Yes, Safenia is going to. I'm assuming her armor is going to protect her from the flames, so she's just going to march through, and she's looking at these guys, going, "Run!" and just keeps barreling forward.
Yeah. So that will conclude this scene of combat, because on their next action they listen to the orders and start to run down the street with their hands held up high and like the cowards they are. All right. So let's take us out of combat, putting you at the gate. And this is a good time to pull up the map again. The map. So this puts you at the gate, which is it's not closed. It's actually wide open, but not much is happening behind you. There's a couple of broken down vehicles in the yard. There's a bit of rubble, some boxes on the floor, a bit of cover. And you do hear the faint humming of engines.
Can I tell where the engines are coming from?
Yeah, you can tell. It's they're at the bottom of the stairs. There's two tanks, one on the left, one on the right. They're standard pattern Lehman Russ tanks with a heavy bolter in the hull and a cannon on the top.
Using my expertise in combat, I'm sure I've faced or am quite familiar with this type of equipment. Would I know the best way to disable one of these?
Well, in a battlefield, you would probably stick something like explosives in the tracks to disable them. and they tend to get slogged down by rubble a lot in battles you fought with alongside them. But they're very durable.
Okay.
They seem to be they don't seem to be aware of what just happened just yet.
But are they aware of? So they're not aware of our presence, correct?
No, they don't. The barrels are stationary.
Okay, so Safenya would like to stealth around to where she can come up alongside or behind one of them, to where the hatch is to get inside.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up another slide, which is this one. They're basically on the corners, and that's my awesome drawing skills. Putting them on the corners of the stairs, slightly slanted upwards.
Okay. Vasily's not one to stealth, so Safenya is going to look at Kifkin. Do we still have one-to-one communication between each other, or no?
Yeah, you have the short range comms still on.
Okay. Yeah, so Safenya is going to go, Kifkin, convince the people in the one on the left to not fire. I will convince the ones on the right, and let's be stealthy about this. Vasily is not stealthy.
You want me to
Or subtle.
socially convince them, or do you want me to remove the problem?
Remove the problem.
Oh, okay.
And Safenya is going to move around stealthily to the one on the right to do the same.
Matilda will move up with Kifkin just in case, for the first time in his life, he fails to get the kill. She'll make sure it happens. Because she's in the Shadow Realm and she can move wherever she wants.
Sorry, could you repeat that? What you were doing? Sorry, I missed it.
Matilda is going up with Kipkin.
Okay. Yeah. Shadowing him.
And Vasily will keep overwatch. Yeah.
Okay, so Safenya will stealth. Kifkin, do you just walk up, or what's your plan?
I'm going to use hide in plain sight and stealth as well.
Okay, then I need a stealth roll from the both of you. Kifkin and Safenya.
16.
Then I will roll for both the spotters.
17 for Safenya.
With the one that rolled a 19, I would like to do my luck control to spend one of my luck points. I've got 2 left to make him re-roll and take the worst result.
Yeah, you can do that. That's one of your special powers. Basically meaning people around you have bad luck.
What a surprise.
So he's got to re-roll and take the worst of the 2. So that's a 15. So that's less than Safenya had. And Kifkin, what did you have again?
16.
16. So that will also be below yours as they're untrained. Well, they're not special in any way, these spotters. And they're relatively at ease. So you get the chance to get up to the vehicle. I will give Safenya the chance to act first.
She's just going to open the hatch and summarily execute these people.
Okay, so this vehicle, it has a hatch on the top for at the commander's hatch, gunner's hatch, and if I remember correctly, there's one on the side as well for the rest of the crew. Specific one you would like to try?
She'll open the side hatch first.
How are you going to try that?
She's just going to use her strength that comes with her power armor and just wrench it open. Okay. And she's got the her Hellgun in the other hand and just...
Okay. You can roll me a strength athletics to try to force it open.
Okay. That's a 10. I think I get Do I get to use for my power armor? Do I get a bonus to that? I think.
No, I don't think so. Most of the power armor is it's giving you the strength to actually walk around as a mortal in it.
Okay.
And you can install enhanced servos later on if you'd like to help you with this.
I do have servos with enhanced strength with 2 ranks to it.
Is that already rolled into your strength at the moment?
I honestly do not know, nor do I know how to tell.
All right. Let's even
I
adding
don't
them.
believe so.
Even
No,
adding
it's not.
them, that is not enough to pull the hatch open.
Okay.
Kifkin, at the same time, how are you gonna try to convince them to yield?
I'm not going to convince. This is Lehman Russ, correct?
Yes.
Does it have any outward sponsons? Is there a heavy bolter up top? I want to know its armament. Is it a Punisher variant? I want to know its type.
It's the standard battle tank type without sponsons and a front-mounted heavy bolter.
Front-mounted. Okay.
Instead of the last cannon.
Okay. That's excellent. In that case, I'm actually going to move past the Lehman Russ, keeping that heavy bolter in placement. In line, I'm going to get behind it because most of the armor on that is cast, but it's cast towards the front. The side angle armor is weak. And I'm going to fire at that heavy bolter section because there's usually at least 1 clip in it. And hopefully, with my shot, breach the armor, breach the heavy bolter, and cause an internal explosion.
All right. You do that with the Inferno pistol, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Well, you are in luck, though, because the Inferno pistol is actually meant to fight vehicles, meaning I will just have to roll toughness against your strength 8, I believe. What was it?
Strength of the weapon is a strength 6, DC 16, pin 3.
Oh, yeah. So, you actually managed to burn through the hatch and start a fire inside. So, with that, we will enter initiative again. But instead of rolling 2 tanks initiative, I'm going to roll 1 tank initiative, which is going to be an 18.
I not take an action before that as I moved up?
You
Kifkin?
moved up with Kifkin, yes. If you want, you can supplement his skill of the tank.
It's okay. Alright, we'll just go into initiative.
Yeah. So the tank goes at an 18. Who else? What numbers do we have?
23 for...
Okay, Matilda? Charlie?
29.
Cut off a bit. Vasily?
20, natural.
Ah, nice. And then we have Kifkin?
10.
At 10. Matilda, you get to act a full round first. You still have 1 action in the surprise round if you'd like to use it.
Okay.
you
So
get
seeing
2 full actions and 1 move.
seeing as Kipkin is actually being relatively successful on neutralizing this tank, she's gonna move across to the other side. And this is what I'm imagining is that she goes looking for the mind in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to use her jab ability to just poke him in the head real hard.
All right. I'm going to ask for a psycho check from you to try to get into the tank.
Okay.
As you still have to move through a physical object for that?
Nope.
So you get stuck outside, and that's on your surprise round, let's say, and then you can use one action still.
So I guess I'll just try again.
All right. So I'll take an action for that as well. Yeah, you managed to move your mind inside through one of the slips. Force yourself through the metal, as it's not shielded against supernatural influence. And inside you find a driver, a gunner at the front, a gunner at the top, a loader at the top, and a commander.
There's a lot of people in here. It's very crowded.
Yes, it's very crowded. And that moves us down to Svenja. Svenja, you fail to open the hatch. You do get. It smells like electricity. Suddenly. Ozone.
Do I believe that my Hellgun would penetrate into this?
The Hellgun, most likely not.
Okay. She's going to give she's going to give it one more wrench.
Okay.
See if she can get it open up.
All right. You can roll me another athletics, and this time add the 2 as well.
Okay.
From your servos.
Oh, that's 13.
Yeah, basically you're pulling, and it's just not bucking, and that moves us down. Would you like to move away or stay there? As well?
She's gonna back away from. She's gonna back very far away from it. Matter of fact, move up the stairs. Kifkin, blow this thing up for me, please.
All right. So you move up the stairs with your move action, which moves us down to Vesely. Vesely, you see this happening as you peek over the rubble at the barricade.
Okay. The door between the two tanks, does that seem fortified in any way, or is that just like the door to the governor's mansion and nothing else?
Correct, the last one. It's not. It's large. It's like a big church door in size, but it doesn't look like it's battle hardened, so to say.
Does it look open or locked?
It looks like the large door is closed, but the small servants' door is open.
I'm gonna bolt for the service door.
Okay.
As quickly as possible.
It will take both your actions to get across, to rush across. So that will
perfectly fine. Get
you there, and it will. I will put you inside. And as soon as you step inside, you're like in the small square waiting room you've been in before, with a door. It's like a square room with a door across towards the ship, and one door on the left and right as well. And that will move us down to my tanks. Yes. As after they hear the screams over their own radio from the other tank of people burning, they actually rev up the engine and start scanning for targets. And Kifkin is he exposed himself at the side of the other tank, but he's not in direct line of sight because it's on the other side of that tank. And they do see Svenja, who just moved up the stairs, and have no other targets at the moment. So what they'll do is they will drive towards the middle of the square, and as they drive down, the turret slowly rotates to the right, and is about to take a shot at you. And then we're going to move to the next person in initiative, which is Kifkin. And after, just as a warning, after this round, now that the tank is fully active and moving, I'm going to alternate rounds between you on initiative and me with the individual components of the tank. So Kifkin, last but not least.
Okay, we're going to get a little World War II up in here. I'm going to rush the tank, and at the joining of the turret and the body is where I'm going to fire that Inferno pistol.
All right.
If I don't kill anybody, I have at least disabled the turret.
Yeah. So the aim is to jam the turret.
If I don't slice into the commander, or the gunner, who is obviously up in that turret, by any sort of pass-through, at the very least, I will melt the mechanism for allowing it to traverse.
All right. I will roll a toughness to see how the tank does. You start melting the ring, but you're not sure if it's going to wedge right away. It does look red hot, though. And that will now put us back to the top of initiative with Matilda, whose mind is inside the tank. And you're muted.
You said we had a driver in there, right?
There's a driver, a gunner for the heavy bolter, commander, a gunner for the battle cannon, and a loader.
She's gonna use her psychic jab and just jab the driver, try and take him out so the thing doesn't move anymore. That's a start.
You can roll me a psych check.
26.
26. Anything but a net 20 would have taken him out. So the driver, he is so focused on getting his vehicle in position that he just ignores what you push over him.
Matilda swears in the Shadow Realm. No one can hear her.
And that puts us to in between Matilda and Sylvania.
Can I send out the willing thought to get the mammoth to come in this direction at least? Because it's outside.
It's been shadowing you, so it's right there. The cannon will fire now that it's in position, and for that it will roll to hit roll against Sylvania, who can against your Dutch armor. If it hits, you take a strength 10 direct hit, and otherwise you take a strength 5 area attack from the explosion. So, what's your armor class?
Okay. I'm sorry, I am always having trouble. 10
plus dodge. Unless you
10 plus dodge is that would be 13.
Okay. He will hit you with a 14 total.
All right.
Yeah.
I've got extra effort.
With extra effort, you can get a +2 on a single roll, I believe. But you would. What happens at this point? You get hit by the battle cannon shell, which is luckily for you an explosive shell, not a armor penetrating one. They weren't expecting fully armored tanks or persons, so for you it's just a straight up toughness check. With a DC 25 to take 0 damage, and you have to roll above 10 to not get taken out right away.
Okay. I'm definitely going to apply my extra effort to that. Because, I improve one check with a bonus of +2, or improve an existing bonus to a major bonus of +5. All right. Toughness. Great. Got it. 13.
plus the 2.
Plus the 2, so 15.
13,
I'm going to
15.
use a...
Yeah?
Can I use a hero point to reroll?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
a lot better. And you still
Yeah,
get the 2
that is
bonus.
25. That's 25 on the button.
Yeah. 25,
With the 2.
that means your armor fully absorbs the shot. It just, when it hits the chest plate, it just dissolves the energy and you get blasted off your feet. And by some miracle, although your chest plate looks battered, you're still alive, unharmed.
Can she stand up?
On your action,
Okay.
which is now.
She's going to stand up and look at them, and over whatever loudspeaker system she has, Emperor protects me, and is going to shoot. I don't. She's going to shoot down the barrel of this thing. She is pissed.
All right. You're just gonna shoot at it. Yeah. Takes your move
Yeah.
to stand up.
Yep. So
Let's try to hit it.
ranged. That is a nat 20.
All right. So with the net 20, you get an auto hit, and you get to choose to add either an effect to your attack or add 5 to the effect rank.
I'm going to add 5 to the effect strength.
Okay, and normally it's effect 4, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So that
with
will-
2 penetrating.
Yeah, so that will make it 9. As you fire, you see your shot going straight into the barrel, and by some miracle, as the breech was pulled back for them to put in the next shell, and you hear a scream from inside, and Matilda, you see the loader shot through the head.
Emperor protects.
And that puts us in between Sylvania and Vasily. At which point, I will make the gunner in the front act as he swings around the gun and puts a hail of fire towards the stairs. Actually, no, he can't yet. So I will have to make the driver turn the vehicle for that first, which is what happens now. So the tank, it turns towards the stairs with the front, as the gun is in the front with a 45-degree angle. Which puts us to Vasily. You're now staring at the back of the tank.
Does this thing have...
Sorry, no, you moved inside, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
I am
yeah.
inside.
Yeah. So you're staying at the front of the tank now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was worried. So... Is there anything amiss on the inside that I either hear or otherwise perceive?
You could go and look inside.
Much as I would like to help, I don't know what I could do against a tank.
You could set it on fire. It's...
Where are the fuel tanks on this thing? Are there external fuel tanks?
This one doesn't have external fuel tanks.
Damn.
Some
Okay.
have.
Actually, no, wait a minute. Kif can just, like, put on, at a white-hot degree, like, a portion of the tank, right?
Yeah. I'll actually... you can roll me an expertise soldier. I think you have that.
I've got expertise, Adeptus Militarum, if that helps.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah.
We'll see what that
And I'll
goes.
give you
12.
With a 12, the last time you fought alongside them, while flamers don't really damage the tank itself, the crew doesn't like heat that much. So if could find any crack or opening, like for example the barrel which is jammed with the breech open, you could fire down into the tank, and you've seen tanks explode after that.
I'm going to do that then. I'm going to clamber from out of the chapel and hoist myself up in order to stick the flamer into that opening.
Yeah. Okay. You can do that. So roll. You don't actually have to roll me anything. I have to roll a toughness. I think you're strength 8, if I'm correct.
I am strength.
Effect rank. Yeah.
Oh yes. 8, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong.
As you fire into the barrel, the ammunition inside explodes, and anyone that is close to the tank will have to roll me a dodge roll. And Matilda, you can roll me a fortitude save.
Okay. This is an area effect, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Evasion counts.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Matilda, you get there's a shockwave coming through your mind, and you're pushed back into your body. All right, Kifkin, that's an 18.
That will
that's
actually,
enough.
Plus an additional 2 because of evasion, so
All
it's
right.
20.
Yeah, 20. That's enough. Jason, it's only a DC 14. So
only a DC 14.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and use my third luck point, leaving me or actually no, I'm going to use my hero point. So I've got 2 luck points left.
Would you use that on the dodge roll or on the toughness that follows? Because if you make the dodge, you still have to roll against the effect, but against half effect.
You know what? Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and save my stuff for.
Yeah, then both of you can roll a toughness with Kifkin rolling against a DC 17 and Vesely against DC 19 for no effect.
Okay. Okay, so that's 14 plus toughness, right?
Yeah.
Since I'm wearing carapace armor, that adds 5, right?
I don't know how much you bought with it, but I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, 5 plus 0 for toughness, because, of course. So that's... Holy
19.
shit, that's 19!
Yeah, so you take no effect. Kifkin, how much total?
9.
9. Against... what did I say? 17 puts you 2 under, giving you a -2 to toughness and making you dazed for 1 round.
All right.
As you get knocked off your feet by an exploding tank.
In a bit, I'll start to heal.
Yeah. You're the one that can take it, actually.
Yeah, auto sanguine for the win.
Mm-hmm. And that drops us out of initiative. As both tanks are down, and Matilda wakes up in the back of the vehicle. With a bit of a headache. How do you guys proceed?
Growling, getting up, probably completely charred. As the skin begins to knit underneath the torn up clothing.
At least it's not blood.
Just wake up, blinking.
Stephania is now fatigued, having used the extra effort. And I believe I can spend a hero point to remove that level of fatigue.
Yes, you could. I think you'll be out then, though.
Yep, I will then be out. Yep, and all I'll have is 1 luck point left. So yeah, she's going to remove the level of fatigue, and she's going to go make sure Kifkin's all right, check on Vasily, and try to calm to the truck. Not knowing what happened, not knowing about Matilda, but just knowing that Matilda was out of her mind, but most likely was involved somehow with what had just happened.
And Matilda in the truck basically kind of turns to Donnie and said, we should get inside now.
Yeah, you want him to drive? Or walk?
Yeah, we can drive.
It doesn't really matter.
We're already in the
anyway.
vehicle, so
Yeah, so
we might as well
he'll
drive the
drive it
vehicle up.
through the barricade and up to the stairs where he'll
She
open
would
the
like
door
to
for
look
you.
out through basically like the rear windows and see if we can see any reinforcements headed this way, because we've had people run off and we've been making a lot of noise.
Yeah, you don't
like a
see
perception?
any. Well, you can, but you won't see anything.
Okay.
And shortly after, he'll open the door for you, and the tree. Did you go back inside, Jason, or are you also on the stairs with the rest?
Leading the charge inside.
All right. So they're up the stairs, waiting for you, I guess. We can probably do that, right? Is there anything you'd like to discuss before you step into the ship?
So is Matilda following us in physicality or still in the Shadow Realm? Okay.
Yeah, physically, with Donnie.
So, with Donnie, okay.
Yes.
I'll lead, just be the dummy, and if I need to dodge something, I'll dodge it. Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's wise?
Dear friend, I know of no other way to be a part of the group. To contribute, as it were.
Kifkin, you're injured. How badly?
Oh, just give me 2 minutes, I'll be fine.
Why don't you rest in the car? It is armored at least. And there are supplies in there, right? We picked up medical supplies.
Yes, we did, actually.
Back when I was on Mars, the tech priest says a benefit for me to continue working without having to have regular medical checkups injected me with nanites. I'll heal in literally 2 minutes.
Okay. And
Jason will lead the way then, I guess.
Aha.
Alright.
I am very
So-
curious why they would guard a building that is empty.
Maybe because it isn't?
One doesn't
Maybe
usually
if-
step in Russ's.
It may not be. It may be empty of people, but not things.
Remind me to teach you about rhetorical questions at some point. Let's go.
All right. As you open the door into the ship of the cathedral, it's almost like a factory cathedral, but you see the 2 rows of workstations with in servitors that are no longer moving. From here, you can easily see heads have been shot off, some arms have been chopped off, the machines have been mangled, destroyed. There's been some fires, but they've been put out. Along the walls, underneath the pillars at the side, you see the same spectacle. And there's still some servitors buzzing through the air. And you can all roll me a perception.
That's
17
20
for me.
That 20 for Safenya.
27 for me.
All right.
13.
Both Safenya and Matilda, the servitor skulls you see flying, there's something off with them. Instead of the familiar green glow of lights, it's a purplish glow.
Is there one close enough I can try for a home run with it using my power sword?
Matilda would very much like to shoot one as well, so we're both going to destroy
You can definitely try to destroy one. There's about what did I write down? About 10. It's a large, very large hall, and the ones that were close enough you saw this with. So you can roll me attack rolls, and Safenya, you'll have to run up to one to
I'm going to use my psychic jab, which we had a range of 2 on with sight.
Yep.
18.
And 18 will hit. And Matilda, you had 16 on the psychic check. All right. I will roll 2 resistance checks. And both of them go down. So Matilda, the one you jab at, it basically breaks apart in midair as it looks like it's been slapped by a mammoth somehow. And
The trunk just went.
Safenya slices the other one in half, and it falls to the floor. And as that happens, I will have you all roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, why is my mouse not working properly on the... That's weird. That's better. All right, let's call them out. What do we have?
Matilda's got 27. No, 29.
29 for Matilda. Kifkin, you cut out a bit.
21.
21.
13 for Safenya.
Yep. Leslie.
12, I believe.
12, and Donnie goes at a 9.
Oh, poor fella.
Yeah, roll low. Then the first one to act is Matilda again. As you see, the ones that were flying around, they stop midair and turn their eyes towards you all.
And then, because they are, I'm imagining, kind of mostly away from us, I want to just kind of aim the mammoth, and I want to use my shriek and try and just knock out a few. Okay.
I think you can... actually, I think the shriek is centered around you.
Oh, it's centered?
Yeah.
Okay, it's cone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you moved yourself earlier, so that's how you were able to...
You know what's great? Yeah, she'll move out into the middle and then do a shriek, and everyone can just grin and bear it. If it hits them, they can grin and bear it.
Yeah, you will be able to catch around 4 with the shriek at this point.
Great.
So you will have to roll me a psycho check.
Yep, 19.
19, and then I will roll 4 resistances. Of which 1 makes it. And there's 3 that just the light goes out and they fall to the floor. And then we have 5 remaining in the air. And we go to the next initiative, which is Kifkin.
I'm going to try and run for cover with my move, and then attempt to shoot one with the Inferno pistol.
Okay. Where do you see cover? Looking at the map.
Looking at the map, considering that the surveyors are running along the sides,
it's servo skulls. It's not servitors.
Skulls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll hide behind the nearest pillar on the right.
Okay. Yep. You can barely hit one with your pistol still. So
we'll take out that one.
Yeah. I will roll a toughness. He goes down. So that leaves us 4 in the air. And moves us to the next initiative, which is the servo skulls. So we have 4 remaining. We have Matilda standing in the middle of the room. We have Kifkin behind the pillar. Sylvania moved forward a bit to hit one. And Vasily, who's still at the door. All 4 of them. Let's see. They are in a circle. The circle around you is clear. There's 2 close to the chair, the elevation, at the other side of the room, and there's 2 close to the party. So 2 of them will go towards Matilda, and 2 of them will go towards Sylvania, and they just fly straight at you, and on impact they explode. So they're gonna try to hit you. The 2 trying to hit Matilda, a 11 and a 17. Oh, muted.
What's that against?
Against your armor class, so dodge or parry.
So against my dodge is 5.
Dodge 5. So one of them will hit, and that means the one that hits you, it actually explodes in a small concentrated explosion, and you can roll me a toughness against DC 20 for no effect.
Great. 10.
So that will give you a -2 and dazed.
-2 to... I've never been hit by anything.
To your next toughness check, and you can only take 1 action on your next round.
Alright, so I'll make my toughness 0 next
Jason,
time.
did you want to say something?
Nope, all good.
All right. And the 2 flying towards Sylvania. A 8 and a 16.
Using dodge, I believe. I'm sorry, using parry. Her armor's a 14.
Okay, so that means one of them will hit, and you can also as well roll me a dodge toughness against DC 20 for no effect.
You said a toughness?
Yeah, as one of them impacts your armor and explodes, and
Net
it
20.
just
Emperor protects.
The debris flies into the air, and the ones that missed, they continue their route and go back into the air. And that puts us to the next initiative, which is Sylvania.
Sylvania would like to take out the one that tried to blow her up.
Yeah, you can just reach it before it goes too high.
All right. I don't know why it didn't take that.
And the ones that it impacted, they shattered, by the way. So,
okay.
So there's 2 left.
It's not wanting to let me roll here. Let's see. All right, let's try this.
If you double click, I don't know if you imported. Yeah, that did. That's an 11, if I'm correct.
Yep, that is an 11.
You thought you could just hit it, but it just went out of your way too fast. It's and that moves us to Vasily.
All right, the one that she missed, I'm gonna try and yeet my chainsword at it, like literally to jump up and like swat it out of the air.
All right. I'll have it. I'll allow it. That will cost you your move and your attack. So
perfectly fine.
Roll me an attack roll.
This is going to be whatever plus 4. So, hiya! fucking.
You you heroically leap through the air. You want to?
Is this worth a hero?
Probably
No.
not.
No, probably not. I'll just face plant in front of Sylvania, like try to like knock it out of the air and just completely fail.
All right. It just flies off into the air, and that brings us to the last in initiative of the party, which is Donnie. And Donnie will take the hell gun he brought with him, I think, and try to shoot the one that missed Matilda. So, did I import Donnie? No, I didn't. So I'll just roll manually. Oh wait, I did. But that's a miss. He just fires and he doesn't get a proper beat on it.
Okay, no. With that one, I'll at least use my luck control so that he can re-roll. So that's one. I'm down to one luck.
I'll take it. Take it.
Take it.
He re-rolls it, rolling an 11 with his bonus of 6. That will give him a hit. And let's see if it goes down. Yes, it goes down. He expertly shoots it, and it follows through, falls down. And where it falls down, you notice the next person in initiative as someone in a black carapace armor ducks up from behind cover and opens fire on Matilda. And he hits Matilda. And you can roll me a toughness.
Alright, so this is just a flat roll because I'm at that -2. 15.
A 15. That will give you another -2 and make you dazed again. Still dazed.
Double days.
Yeah. The guy that stood up, he looks almost like one of the stormtroopers. One of the SWAT soldiers you've seen before, but his full kit is black, and he's bearing a hell gun. And that gives us the top of initiative, Matilda. You're standing in the middle of the room.
I'm gonna send out a psychic jab at this stormtrooper guy. Because I have suspicions who he is, but Matilda has a headache. She's okay.
Savannah, you notice it's not David. It's a lot smaller posture. So,
although I believe as she tries to gather the energy to do this, she is unable to, because I think I only have one action per turn anyway, and I'm dazed.
No,
So she
no,
just
dazed
can't do
just
anything.
means you can only take one standard action, which is either a move or an
I
attack.
can only
or-
take
yeah.
one action. Okay.
And let's take a quick look at what else you could do. Because it might be smarter to try for a dominate.
It
In your
might be,
case,
but she doesn't want to be
as-
in his head.
Well, you can send him commands with your dominate. That's the power.
Right.
But it's up to you. So
Yeah, she wants to try and just hit him with a mental jab.
okay, all right. Then you will have to roll me a psychic check. And
She has no reason to dominate him at this point, I don't think.
yeah,
Alright. 16.
16. All right. He will have to roll a toughness against DC.
It's a will,
20.
I think.
For is it will? Oh, it's will.
I think it's will.
I will take a look.
It's a DC
will.
15.
Yeah. Then he'll take a -1 to his toughness from now on, as he fails to make the check by 1 degree, which puts us back. Well, we were already back at the top.
The smartest thing to do would have been for Matilda to not be stood in the middle of the room anymore, but she isn't feeling very smart right now.
Mm-hmm. As you were ambushed by an expert soldier. Kifkin.
Where is this expert soldier?
He is towards the right, behind the right row of machines. He was ducked behind it, and he is now peering over it.
Hello, friend. We're going to rush up to the third column from the bottom and try and take a shot at him.
All right. Yeah, you don't have to roll anything for that, but he has to roll a dodge for half effect. And he'll get a +2 to dodge as he's behind half cover.
In cover, yep.
Yeah. Giving him a 19, which should be enough.
Yep.
And then he will roll against half effect. And let's see. I'll ignore the Donnie that stood in front of it. A 22. Half effect is
3.
3. That's enough to take no damage. As he managed to duck behind the machinery in time as the searing hot plasma flies over him.
Well, now he has some searing hot cover. That can't be comfortable.
Yeah. Definitely. Which puts us down to the 2 buzzing machines that were in the air. One of them will fly towards Sylvania, who moved up in a bit to try to catch it as she's closest to it. And the other one now has another target in Kifkin, which is closest to it, as Matilda's still in the middle of the room. I will roll against Sylvania first, a normal attack roll. 22? No, 19, sorry.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
That's a hit. Then you have to roll me a toughness against a DC 20 for no effect.
Okay.
And it will explode regardless.
Emperor protects. 21.
And you succeed with flying colors. As also this bug just explodes on your chest with no serious harm. The one trying to hit Kifkin. He
also take the -2 for my cover.
Yeah, giving you a 5 to hit. That's a miss. As he doesn't even hit the pillar. So he just flies past and he buzzes around and goes back into the air. And that brings us to the next initiative, which is Sylvania.
Yeah, I think Sylvania would like to. She's a little irritated at this servitor. It's exploded.
Servo skill.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get to the gentleman or the thing in the carapace armor? Can I get to that?
Yeah. You are at the bottom of the room.
Okay.
You could get to him by using your move and then your standard action as a rush action.
Okay.
But it will give you a -2 on your attack roll if you do so.
That's fair. She'll do that. She's
Okay.
just. I mean, this is a sister battle coming at him in full armor, at a full run.
Yeah. Then you can roll me an attack roll.
Oh, why?
He
It's not
has,
accepting. I figured out it's not accepting rolls from melee for some reason. It doesn't let me roll from that. So. That's 23, and that's a nat 19, which I believe crits using the power sword.
Did you have improved critical? I think you did, right?
For the power sword, it's got improved
Oh, the
critical.
19 to 20, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That will be a crit and also a hit, meaning you can add either +5 effect or something cool you can come up with.
It's a penetrating 3 with a force power. I think the sword glows with the Emperor's light. I mean, she has been hit in the chest by a tank. She's had 2 servos explode on her chest, and she's undamaged. Her armor's a little bent and maybe smoking, but I gotta figure she looks pretty impressive at this point, and as the sword comes down, the Emperor's light is with her, and that sword just glows with it as she comes down at him.
All right. So you're just gonna add effect, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making it an effect of 11, if I'm correct.
Yes.
11. All right.
It's +5.
Yep, an extra +5 on top of your normal 6, I think.
12. 12. It's a +7.
So that's 12.
Yep.
He will have
And a
to
penetrating
roll
3.
and he rolls a 12, meaning I have to match is. That's a 3rd degree, I think. So he will take the -4 to his next toughness, as well as being staggered. And if he gets staggered again, he will go down.
Okay.
You chop him up badly. He's bleeding heavily. And we move down initiative to Donnie. Donnie, who now has, he is confident with his shot, so he will try to shoot the last servo skull that's in the air. And I miss the thing as well. So I'll just, there we go. A 17, that will hit. And then I'll roll a resistance. And he shoots down the last flying servo skull as well. Which, crashes into the wall, leaving a trail of sparks and a little bit of fire. Moving down in initiative 2, our soldier, who is now faced with a sister of battle in front of him. And he can no longer hide, so he pulls out his chainsword, wraps it up, and tries to go through your now blackened armor. Does a 15 hit you? Muted.
Just barely. It's a 14.
Barely. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, last luck point.
Last luck
and
point.
re-roll that and take the worst result.
All
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
He rolls better.
It's all right.
So you can roll me a toughness against a DC 21 for no effect.
Okay.
That's an 18. You'll take a -1 to your toughness as your armor gets chipped a bit and you get worn down a little bit. Then we move on to the top of initiative. Matilda. You're wounded. Oh, did I skip?
Yeah.
I think
Did I skip someone?
got skipped.
Who
Yeah,
did I skip?
skipped.
You skipped me?
Where
I
are you
think.
then?
Yeah.
Oh, you're 12.
number-
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hi, guys.
You're now. Hi.
Was-
Sorry.
I was worried.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take your action.
I was just going to tackle the dude with my chainsword first, so...
All right.
Guess I'll just
Go ahead.
roll for that.
Yeah.
Just get him real acquainted with my chainsword real quick. Hiya! Like 22, I think. Yeah.
That will hit. It will definitely hit.
Or 21, pardon.
It will definitely hit.
So let's see. Chainsword is power 6.
6, yeah. He will roll a toughness with his -4 penalty as well. Meaning the hit I actually made against Savenia doesn't happen, as just before he hits you, Vesely intervenes. Vesely, how do you intervene?
I see
As you kill the soldier.
Yeah, I see this person try to stab with a chainsword, and I know that never works. So, like a ghost almost, I step out from behind Sifenia and, like, uppercut as hard as I can to, meet chain to chain, and then turn my blade in order to literally just bury the width of the sword into the stomach of this person and just let it rev.
And as gore shatters all over the floor, the guy drops to the floor. And the hall falls silent.
The Emperor is with us today.
Okay, there's got to be more here.
Yeah, and so she's not letting down her guard. Fenya is going to keep moving forward.
I'm gonna tear off the mask of whoever this person was to see who they were.
You've never seen him before. He looks like just any of the SWAT you've seen. Shaved hair, shaved face, trained.
Bury the chainsword in his head and root it around for a little bit before.
Let's get the entire helmet gear off. We can use that. Then you can. Okay.
Scramble his brains.
Now. I just look to Kifkin and circle the helmet. Now.
Grab the helmet, pull it away. Have fun!
Yeah, Stefania's kind of moved. She's letting Vasily have his fun, and she's actually going to start methodically examining this room, going through this room, looking for threats.
All right. You can roll me an investigation or perception. Anyone that wants to join you is welcome to.
Why not? Hiya. 13.
12.
27.
27.
Excuse me. 15. Pardon.
15. Well, with 15, you do find what I described earlier, how people were killed. With 27, you notice that most of them were either shot by hellguns or by chainswords, and it's definitely done by multiple persons, judging by the way the different kills happened. People were killed simultaneous as they tried to move away, and some of them also bear marks of electrical frying.
So, kill squad combined with the hijacking of the local servo skulls. Great. I guess I will go check on what's left of the governor. See if that's not been ready to explode.
All right. The governor has not been rigged to explode. As you approach him, he is dead in his chair. His oxygen tank has been severed as well. But that's not what killed him. He has an imprint on his head of what looks to be like a glove with burn marks. With your knowledge, do you guess it would be something like a stun fist that just fried him?
Shock glove. Somebody's got their hands on some nice tech.
Care to share with the class, Kifkin?
Shock gloves. Typically used primarily by inquisitorial agents as well as some underhive scum. They're painful, they're showy, they're subtle. It can look just like a standard glove unless you look real close and can see that there's actually discharging capacitors in the glove. Usually meant for subduing or torture, but can be used to just execute someone who's not healthy, especially when you put it directly on the head.
Or grab them by the
Wait.
throat.
The picture, Kifkin. And Matilda's eyes are just kind of darting around this room, but she's actually looking with her mind, looking for energy, because she knows there's a psycho somewhere. Doesn't know if it's in this building, doesn't know if it's across the street, but she knows somewhere on this planet is a psycho, and she's getting real itchy because there's a lot of weird stuff in this room.
Okay, so you look around in the room in the other realm?
Mm-hmm.
Try to, you can roll me a psychic check to see if you actually can.
Okay. Nope.
No,
Really
you
can't.
rolled that.
Really
rolled
can't.
that one. No. That will
Welcome
black
to
you
me,
out.
playing a
That-
psycho.
It will actually black you out as you were already pushing yourself. You're wounded, and yes, you try to ignore the wounds. You just faint. And for the rest, it looks like she just no. For the rest, it looks like she goes to the other realm, like she's done before.
Oh, well, that's inconvenient.
I imagine Donnie would go running over towards her.
Where were you standing as you did that? Probably where you were, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she was pretty much still like in the
Yeah.
middle of the room.
Yeah, he'll check on her and say she's breathing and put her body in the cover and stand watch. And
Sophia's going to-
he puts his thumb up to the three of you.
Sophia's going to check the other doors, access into this room.
All right. So there's two doors on the side. There's a double door on the platform where you found the body of the governor, and there's one on the left and right at the foot of the pillars. What's the
Right.
towers? Towers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, towers. Which one do you check first?
I imagine she's going to check the side doors, the doors down low on the side before she
Yep.
checks the ones up on the platform.
Whatever one Stefania doesn't check, Vasily will go to.
Okay. So the two of you take one of the side doors each, and they lead into maintenance rooms. There's a mess hall, basically quarters. There's some servitor storage, and a lot of servitors and servants dead, killed in the same way as the ones in the hall. Some of them were running, others were at work and surprised.
If there's a way she's going to close and find a way to bar the door so that they can't be easily opened back into this room. And then
Okay.
she'll move up to the ones behind the chair.
Okay, I'll let you do that. Jason, on your side, it's the same scenery,
Same,
but
you
you
try to block
actually
the
get
door.
the kitchen.
Ah. Not that hungry at the minute. Just gonna block the door as best I can and go to the double doors.
Okay.
Yelling back to Donnie, be a good lad, will you? Sure that she's exhausted. And just go join Sefenia.
Okay. Do you take the double door or the tower doors?
Sophia's going to secure the tower doors first.
And I'm just gonna take a look through the double doors.
Okay. Sylvania, as you, the tower doors are basically empty. There's a stair. It's an empty square with a stair leading up to the tower, and there's one door slightly towards the north as well. But there looks to be, it is closed.
Okay. Does it look like this?
You can roll me a
been
perception,
disturbed?
by the way.
Okay, that'll work. $23.
You don't find any. You don't hear anything here except for a far away little bit of howling from the top of the tower. Other than that, no signs of life in here.
Uh,
And it's the same
something-
on the other tower.
Okay. There's the faint sound of howling up there. But then she's going to secure the tower doors and go to Vasily at the double doors.
Okay. So, who moves in first? It's
I.
gonna be Festley. He was waiting there.
Yeah, I was raring to go. Like,
All right. Festley, as you step in, I will pull up the next map.
oh no, this one has a new map.
Yeah, of course. As we move around. And you look down into the governor's office, which you've been in before. The last time there were two custodians at the side of the governor who are not there. The chair is turned around, and you look through the glass onto the lake of acid underneath the governor's cathedral. You can, all three of you, roll me a perception.
15.
11.
I was
11.
the high roll.
All right.
13.
Then, as you don't see or hear anyone.
No. No. This is not right.
And
Head back out into the other chamber. Get off to one of the sides. Put the helmet on. Patch into its comm. Position has been compromised. All external units, KIA, fall back.
And as you try that, Pope, Vasily gets interrupted by the voice of David from the chair. You'll have one chance to yield.
Pardon?
It's a large metal chair, like at least 20 centimeters thick, the back of it. Behind a large desk.
I accept your unconditional surrender.
And that's when he will pull out his gun and shoot over the chair.
At this point, I would like to remind all of my team you have advantage against psychic attacks for the first attack. Just remember.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, definitely. He will get one shot off at you, Vasily, and then we'll roll initiative.
Okay.
And I will pull up the battle music, I think. Why isn't my clicking working? I have like 6 tabs open with stupid. Here. There we go. All right. David.
I missed the creepy music box.
He shoots at Vasily. Vasily Taltos. Does it 27 hit you?
That's since I've only got a 17 with dodge. Yeah, that. Guess what? That hits. Or actually, no, not 17. Pardon, a 15. My bad.
All right. Then you can roll me against effect 4, which is a DC 19 for no effect.
Yeah. 10 plus 5, 15.
15. That will give you a -1 for your upcoming toughness checks. And as we get into initiative, where as David in his full master crafted carapace armor peeks beyond the chair, and he has a 9 plus. Where's it? Oh, he has a 9. You guys are in luck. He doesn't have any bonus initiative. Vasily.
Yeah, funny how that works. So, let's see. He just shot me, right?
He just shot you, yes. Most of it got absorbed by your armor.
Just gonna look at him. Take out my flamer.
It's probably gonna be bruised if you'd look under your armor.
That was poor decorum, friend. And here I was, one of your prisoners. And I'm going to just light the place up.
Right, so you have 17, Kifkin has 16, and Sylvania has a 10. Alright, Matilda, you have the option to spend your 1 hero point. Well, yeah,
It's down
actually. You can spend a hero point to wake up and roll initiative as well. But you're in the other room, so you take at least 1 turn to get there.
I'll just have a nap on the floor. They're fine. No, I'll spend the hero point and get up.
Alright. I'll take it. Then you also can roll initiative to see where you will enter. Which also means I will add Donnie. With that. 10. You get
16.
16. Okay. Vesely, you still get to go first, and you still pull out your flamer, I think.
Yep, flamer, bull rush, and then cone the place.
All right. So, what exactly do you do?
So he's in the chair behind the desk. I'm going to go up to the desk and just let loose around him.
With your move, you can get it in front of the desk. So
Perfectly
he will
fine.
still. This round, he'll still have cover from heavy cover from the chair. The chair's turned around, and he's like sitting on this huge chair, just peeked over the edge. So he will have to roll a dodge to get half effect. There's dodge. So he will have to roll against full effect.
Which is 8.
8. He rolls catastrophically low. A 10 against 8 is 23, meaning he takes -4 and staggered on the first action, which is unlucky for him, but he is still alive. That's a catastrophic 1 to roll, right? Let's see. Where do we go next? Matilda and Kifkin. Matilda, you spent a turn moving, I assume. So Kifkin gets to act. The chair is on fire.
Okay. Well, we need to do something about the chair and the person behind the chair. Fortunately, I have a tool for it. And we'll just rush up and I'm guessing these are little like alcoves.
Yeah, before the half round opening, there's alcoves.
Right.
Where last time there were also custodians, and then there's several steps going down before the huge glass windows.
Well, I'll
Looking
take cover
out
in
over the
one of
lake.
the alcoves, and then the nearest right alcove, and then fire.
Okay. You can manage to just miss Jason. So,
I would hope so.
and he will roll a. Where is this? Dodge is 2. Does he get any bonus? I think he does. No, that's the other. So that's 16. That's enough to get half effect, I think.
Yep.
Just
But
enough.
still pin 3. So
Um,
pin 3 affects effect 3 in that case.
Yeah, but, yeah, effect 3. You get with effect 3. He will actually shrug off the attack. Does that penetrating?
Yeah, pin 3.
Okay. He will get to roll against the penetrating as his armor tries to absorb all of the heat. For a 15, and I would have to double check it, but I believe that is enough to not get through. Or did you have to roll? I will look it up in a moment.
I do want to make sure also that on the toughness, the -4 from the flamer is applied.
Yeah, he has impervious toughness 6. So against FX 6 or lower, the attacks don't have any effect unless they have penetrating. And then he gets to roll against the penetrating. Yeah. Welcome to Strong Enemies.
Wow.
Let me just double check this because I should have done this beforehand, right? I did have it previous. 141. There we go. It's highly resistant. If the effect rank is equal to or less than half the impervious rank, which he has 12 of, it has no effect. So, for example, impervious toughness 9 ignores any damage of 5 or less, unless it has the penetrating extra. And the penetrating extra, which most of your weapons do.
Yes.
Let's see. The resistance check is equal to the penetrating rank instead of not doing damage. So he will have to roll toughness against your penetrating instead of, which is 3. So he will have to roll toughness with the minus. Ignore that roll. With the -4, giving him a total of +5, giving him 23 against effect 3, which is no effect. So his armor, despite the immense heat, absorbs all of the heat, and it does burn the surface a bit, but he doesn't look any more wounded than earlier. So we move down initiative. To Sylvania and Donnie.
How far away is he?
He is a double move away. He's behind the chair.
Okay. My holy presence to dazzle is a ranged attack. Is he within that range?
What range does it have?
It just says all I have is ranged attack. I don't think we ever put a number on it.
I think we made it sight, right? Anyone that sees you.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Any heretic that sees you has to roll against it. So that will affect him. So he has to roll.
It's a will save against a ranged attack.
Okay, and it's a dodge for half effect, if I'm correct, as well.
I believe so.
Okay.
It's ranged cumulative affliction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Actually, no, it's actually a ranged attack you have to make. So you will have to hit this plus. And he will try to parry it as he moves his... as he tries to avert his knife with his arm.
I'm going to use my last luck to reroll this attack.
Okay.
Not much better. 14.
It is better because you get +10 as you do the reach.
Oh, that's right.
If you roll
So,
below 10.
24.
So now he has to make a will save against a DC.
Yep.
A DC off, how much? What rank is it?
Oh, sorry.
It's 10 plus rank.
I'm sorry. Is it I have Dazzle 3?
Yeah, so that's a DC 13 for no effect.
Right.
And he makes it with a 30.
Oh. Okay.
As he closes his
I had a
eyes
feeling.
and focuses his mind on the task at hand, which is dealing with Donnie, who tries to shoot him. Actually, no, he has to move up, so he doesn't shoot. He moves up in front of Matilda. And that moves us to the next in initiative, which is the two soldiers which were lurking on the left and right around the corner, who now have Mr. Vasily Taltos, if I'm correct, up at the desk to shoot at. They are dressed the same as the other two, as the other one in the hall.
Ow.
A
That
22
hurts.
and a 23.
Yeah,
think
no,
both-
that both. But I've got an AC of 17, I think.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So that will.
Or 15.
You are lucky because you only have to roll a 2 twice, one both against effect 4. So a 19
Okay.
for 0 damage. And you have a
But-
-1, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I've got a -1 because of, our lovely little cultist friend. Hiya! I'm gonna spend that hero point real quick. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, so I've got nothing after this. So, hiya. 17 plus 5 is 23.
23. That one succeeds. And the second roll.
Oh, there's a second roll? I thought it was just one.
Once from the
Are you,
left
are you
and
sure you don't want to
from the
just make
right.
it one?
No.
Fuck. Okay. That's a 7 total.
A 7, which is against DC of 19, making you 12 under, giving you another minus. I make it 1 per rank, right? Not. So that's an extra -3, and you're staggered.
Ow. Okay. Perfectly fine. Ow.
So putting you at -4, staggered until you rest, and yeah, that's it. As the two figures, they just open fire on you. Then we move up, back to the top. Let's see. Because we have we actually have David at 9. I almost forgot him. David
Yeah.
in the chair. David will actually stay behind the chair, and he'll throw a smoke grenade into the room. And within seconds, the entire room fills with smoke, meaning you can only see a couple of meters in front of you, making you blind unless you have thermal vision. And that's about it.
Crap.
And Pope Kivkin, did you still have that helmet on? You notice that it has thermal vision, giving you full sight of the room through the smoke. Putting us back to the top, back to Vasily. You roughly know where he was.
Quickly as I can, I'm gonna make my way to that spot.
Okay, you can roll me a perception before you do to see if you can still feel where he was. Because it did move.
Perception?
Yeah, perception.
Hiya!
Perception here.
Mother! Okay, 17.
17. He moved back. You know that for sure.
Okay, well, I'll push myself flush against the chair, and then do I know the general area where he moved back, or?
He went down the stairs, but you don't know if he went straight back or left or right. You're not sure. If you were to use your flamer, you could probably get a 50-50 at hitting him.
I'll do it.
Right.
Good enough. I'll just drape whatever side is against me
Flip me a
with
coin.
flame. Flip a coin? Okay.
Yeah. Pick odd or even and roll something. Or an actual coin. I will take an actual coin.
Do I have an actual coin? Oh yeah, I do. All right.
Heads or tails?
Let's go. Let's go heads. Yeah, heads feels like good. Oh boy.
Heads
I
against
say
the
heads
cycle.
feel.
About it.
Tails.
Tails.
Darn it.
You sweep one side. You hear burning, but you don't hear any close burning, the sound which you would have been very familiar with. The smoke does clear a little bit, but it quickly folds back. This is going to continue for at least a couple of rounds, the folding back. Then, next in initiative. Do you want to move somewhere? Or you moved up to the chair, right?
Yeah, I'm where David formerly was.
Yeah, okay. So that gives us Kifkin and Matilda. Matilda will arrive just at the door on her last round. And Kifkin has the first action as he's closest to the action.
Thermal vision's on. Quick soliloquy. Never provide your enemy the solution to the problems you create. And then fire at the soldier that's closest to Vasily.
Yeah, so you were in the right alcove. The first one.
Yeah.
The soldiers
cover
are
there.
on your side because they're around the corner at the doors.
Okay, well...
You could move up and shoot one.
In that case, I'm going to move up to the alcove on the right.
Yeah.
And get danger close to this guy while firing.
All right. So there's one on the left, one on the right. Which one are you shooting at?
Right.
The right one. So you go around the corner and...
Yeah.
Zoom. All right. You don't have to roll me anything. I will have to roll a dodge. And the soldier has evasion 5, so he gets an extra 5 on his dodge. Giving him a 30 on his dodge, meaning he rolls against half effect, which is 3, if I'm correct.
Yep. Pin 3.
All right. 15 against 18 for no effect. He'll take a -1.
Okay.
So you manage to scorch him, and he looks hampered a little bit, but not wounded, not really wounded. Matilda, as you open the door or step through the door, you are greeted with a room full of smoke.
Matilda is feeling physically weak, mentally burnt out, and seeing the smoke, this is not a situation she wants to walk into. At least not in her body. So she's gonna try and go into psycho walk mode.
Okay.
And she's pretty sure there's bad shit in here. She's gonna go find it. So yeah, I will make that roll. 18.
You look across and you see everything in the monochrome colors, the film layer, so to say, we had before, except for David. He has the same bluish color that your body has around him. He's present both in this realm and the other. And he's standing down the stairs. Let's say Jason fired the left half, and he is standing in the right half.
She's still dazed, so she can't actually take another action. But as a kind of a free action, she's going to speak in the void.
Actually,
and say, hello, David.
It's just
Gone?
for one round.
Okay. Then what I'd like to try and do is speak to his mind as my first action.
All right.
Just do a little polite, knock on the door.
All right.
And try and distract him.
You can roll me a psycho check to see if it succeeds.
Alright. Let's see. 16.
16. As you do that, you reach out to try to talk to him. There's his energy. It flickers and it sends back a stream of psychic energy as there's some form of feedback happening, and you can roll me a will save against DC 16.
Great, and I get to do this with an additional +2 because this is a psychic attack, right?
Yes. And it's a
Great.
reaction. Affliction 6. Ooh.
I quit. I'm done.
Well, luckily there's no such thing as auto failure in this system. It does give you a 13. You are now entranced. You are fully entranced by this figure standing there. He looks proud. Someone, worthy of battle, so to say. And you lose your action until you make a will save.
Will
against
save.
it. Yeah. So that gives us the next initiative: Safenya and Donnie. Donnie will stand in front of Matilda and take the defend other action.
And fortunately for Safenya, her armor counters mist and smoke. So she's got a nice clear vision of this. Does Safenya have any idea where he may have gone?
Well, if you are not affected by smoke, then you can actually see him standing slightly towards the right at the bottom of the 4 stairs. 4 stairs.
Can she charge him? The sword?
Did you get closer earlier?
Yeah, she had. Well, she had to move up a little bit because of the dazzle effect.
Oh yeah.
So that he could see her because he was in the chair. So
you could use your move and then use the charge action again with a -2 on your attack.
Yep, I think she's going to do that, and I'm going to apply extra effort to remove that penalty.
You could use extra effort to get a second attack as well. Might be slightly more efficient.
I like that even better.
An extra action, or
okay.
+2.
Yep. Let's do that. Let's do the extra action. So,
and that will make you fatigued.
Right. Don't think that 12's going to hit.
Uh, 12 is not going to hit indeed. And
19
will hit.
Okay.
What effect does your attack have? 7, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, it's power 7, penetrating 3, and it's got force something or other, but I can't read it on my PDF.
That's the damage type. So force is
force damage. Yep.
Because you can be immune to certain damage types.
Right.
It's up to go through his impervious toughness, so he has to resist the full damage, which is 7. And he is at the -4, as I miscalculated earlier, but staggered, which should have been -3. Giving him a +5 instead of a +9, putting him at 16 against a DC of 22. That means he is
6.
2 degrees under, giving him an extra -2 and making him dazed for rounds until after his next action.
And she's reciting scriptures to him. It's the constant prayer.
All right. Let's move down. Initiative 2. The 2 soldiers on the sides. One of them has a half shot on Kifkin, who peeked around the corner to fire. And the other one will take another shot at Vesely, who is still exposed on the chair. So the first one will be at Kifkin. Should have said something else, but it is the correct bonus. So 16.
Do I have cover?
You have
cover.
Yeah, you have half cover.
So is that taking the -2?
That's not taking -2 yet, so that will be a 14.
14 does not hit.
All right. You manage to duck aside just in time, and he hits the stone. And then the one on our other friend, he rolls a 19 + 8, which is a 27, which is
So
a
even
crit for him.
good. Oh, good. Great. So
As
glad.
he has proved critical.
Okay. Quick question. Since I'm behind the chair, do I have any cover?
I could give. I will give you a medium cover for a -2 penalty on him, but it will still be a hit and a crit.
Oh, okay. Good. Just so glad to be here. Okay. So what am I rolling again?
You're rolling a toughness against. What are we gonna do?
Since my is only 15. My AC.
I'm actually gonna use the critical to try to disarm you instead of adding extra effect. Which means you will have to roll a strength against a DC of 10 to not drop your weapon.
Strength of DC of 10. So is this before or after the toughness roll?
And you still have to roll the toughness, but against the normal damage, which is 4. So that's DC 19 for no effect.
Hiya! That's 16 for the toughness roll.
So that's another -1 for you.
Ow. Or, oh, wait. I already had a -1, right? No, I had a -4. So 16 minus 4 is 12.
12 against, what did I say? 4, that's 19. 12
19.
against 2 degrees. So you get another -2, and you get dazed. And then let's see if you drop.
Okay. Strength check?
Yeah. Ooh. You drop your weapon and it just slides off the stairs. What weapon were you holding at that point? The flamer, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
As you just placed half the room. Okay. So it slides down the floor. You can't reach it at your feet yet, putting you in a bad spot, as you will only have 1 action on your next round.
No kidding.
And then puts it back to the top. To you, Vesely.
1 action.
Yeah. And you're also, don't forget, you're surrounded by smoke. Your incinerator just went down the stairs, disappeared in the smoke.
Okay. I'm going to do something real stupid.
Of course.
I'm going to try to get my flamer back.
Yes.
So I'm going to dive after it like as quickly as possible. Can I use an extra effort to then get off a shot?
Yes.
I'm going to use an extra effort to get a shot off of, what's his name? David, if I can. I know Safenia is close by, and I'm sorry.
He wasn't to the left, so you can guess that he's to the right.
Yeah.
And
so.
All right. I will allow that. You will also get fatigued, then.
Fine enough. I'm already in bad shape.
Which isn't too bad. Means you move at half speed, if I'm correct. So.
Yeah.
Safenia, you can first roll me a dodge against DC 18, and then roll a toughness against either effect 8 or 4, depending on your dodge.
That's a 10 on the dodge.
And David has a 17 on the dodge, which is also not enough.
And then you said a toughness?
Toughness against DC 23 for no damage. And David will take another -2 and another round of dazed. And Safenia rolls a 21.
23. 21.
20, yeah.
But then that's where I add the armor, the +2 for the armor, correct?
Well, your total toughness is your stamina plus your armor.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so 21.
21 will give you a -1 from now on.
Okay.
And you hear scorching, Jason. You are pretty sure you've hit something.
Just fist in the air and like turn back to yell to everyone, "Now could someone please finish the job?"
All right.
I saw him hit me, didn't I?
Yeah, you definitely saw him. He didn't aim straight at you. He didn't aim straight at David. He aimed in the general. He swept in his general direction. It's pretty clear he couldn't see anything, and he hit the both of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that moves us down to Kifkin and Matilda. Who would like to go first?
I would like to make my roll to save.
Yeah. All right.
Nope.
No,
Carry on.
no. Let's see. Is it progressive? No. Luckily
Wait,
it isn't.
can I? Oh, wait, no, never mind. Can I use a hero point to reroll that?
You can use a hero point to clear it, even.
Yes, I would like to do that, please, because I have a hero point left.
All right. Yeah, you have. I'll actually allow you to do it before your action, so you get an action. So, Safenia, you can act before. Kifkin, you can act before, so Charlie can think of something to do.
All right. Do I see David?
If you saw him when you peeked out of your alcove,
All right.
and now that you've dodged back.
Let's peek out again, see what I can see.
You see in about a 2 o'clock angle towards the north. You see the back of Safenia, and behind her is David. And you see slightly towards the left, and pretty much in the middle of the room, at the bottom of the stairs, you see Vesely flaming the area of Safenia and David.
All right. Seeing that, 'cause I'm not gonna get that shot cleanly off. Turn even further, still using the alcove for cover, and fire at that same soldier again.
Yeah. All right. He will just have to roll a dodge, and he gets a big bonus, 20. So he will take half effect, as he has the +5 against area attacks, and then he rolls a +6 instead of +7. And I need to not forget to swap that stuff. For a 13 against effect 3, which is 18, so he'll take a -2 now, for a total of -3, and he's dazed for 1 round. Charlie, what will Matilda do?
How does David look?
David is wearing an ornate carapace armor, probably mastercrafted of some form, with Arbeits insignia on it. His face is covered by a helmet as well, and he is wearing a Helgen, and one of the armor's gloves looks a lot more intricate than a normal glove.
Alright, so Matilda is thinking back to how this all began, and to a certain cultist that she dominated the mind of and managed to get to kill other people. So she's going to attempt to dominate David's mind, with the aim of eventually using his own weapons against him, because she's done.
Alright. You can try.
I know. Here we go. 18. So it's a success on my end. He needs to make a will save versus 15.
Yes. Actually, no, he doesn't. Because he is immune to mind affecting effects.
Unfortunate.
And he and the same jolt of energy that hit you before also comes back out of him, and you have to roll me a will save against DC 16, not to get afflicted again.
19.
19. That's enough. As there's some the energy you put into him feeds back straight back at you, and you hear him whisper, surrender. And that will put us down to Sylvania and Donnie. Donnie will still move up with Matilda and take another defend other action.
She wants to curse Vasily so bad right now, and instead she's just, the Emperor of Mankind isn't the light in the way, and all his actions are for the benefit of mankind, which is his people, and she is swinging for all she's got with that power sword.
All right.
Nat fucking 20.
All right. That will give you the option of adding 5 to the effect, if you'd like.
Oh yeah.
Making
We're
it
adding
effect
5 to the effect.
12.
Yes.
Effect 12, so he will have to roll his toughness, which is left at +3 total, which is 13 against DC 27, which gives him another staggered. And
It's
before he goes down, he does take one last stand effort, and he tries to grab you. Does a double check? Does a 15 hit you?
yes.
As you run your sword through him, he grabs you and starts pulling you backward, and you get to make an opposed strength as he tries to leap with you through the window.
Strength or athletics?
Strength.
Okay.
At which he actually succeeds as he rolls so much. He rolls 20 against your 12. He pulls you through the window, and you fall into a lake of acid below.
I would like to spend a hero point.
Yes. Go ahead.
I would like to, if I may, do a narrative declaration or a heroic intervention.
Yes.
Okay. So, at that moment, as she's being pulled, Kifkin's going to charge up with the mace, and I would like to baseball bat him off of her.
Okay. If you hit and do damage, you will save her.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you the net one.
Okay. Okay.
At 12.
Wait, no,
Well-
that didn't actually register. That roll did not register.
No.
Okay, so let's come on, Fantasy Grounds, do the thing. No, that's an 8.
That's an 8. Yeah, the 8. You come after her, you swing, but it puts you in a perfect spot to see them tumbling down into the acid. And what happens to Sylvania? That's what we'll find out, I think, in next season. But first, we have 2 more soldiers to kill, if they don't kill you. One of them is on the right, one of them is on the left. And I think it's also their turn. And they actually try to run, seeing their leader go out the window. It will take them a full round to open the doors, at least. Because Sylvania locked them on the other side. Vasily, heavily wounded, flamer in hand. There's still a room full of smoke. You hear glass shattering, and I don't know if Sylvania screams on the way down. No.
No, absolutely silent. She's going to make... All she's got is a grip on David to make sure that he's going with her.
Okay.
She's totally at peace with this.
Is there any sort of like curtains or accoutrement that could act as a rope?
Yes, there is very long curtains all the way to the sky.
Just try to yank one of those down as quickly as possible and make a makeshift rope.
Okay. You can manage to do that. And I will, because it's within the same initiative round, I will actually allow you to make a save attempt as well.
Might as well. Just toss it down as far as it'll go and hand the other end to Kifkin.
It will take you an extra effort, though. Making you fatigued.
I'll spend it. I'm fine with it.
Because you would need 2 actions to do that.
Yeah, Vasily's just absolutely broken at this point, so like animal instinct takes over.
So how we'll do this, Sylvania gets to make an athletics or acrobatics check to try to get a hold of the rope, unless she actually wants to focus on driving David down and ignores the rope that gets thrown after you.
She would ignore the rope. She wants him to die. She's going to make sure that he goes into the acid and stays there. She's on top of him. Her weight's driving him down.
Okay, so Vasily, you actually see, she notices the rope, but reinforces her grip on David as she goes past the end of it into the acid.
Bloody fanatics. Just whisper under my breath.
And Johnny will keep defending Matilda. But we also still have Matilda. Oh, Matilda's next, actually. So, yeah. Matilda and Kifkin. There's 2 persons that turn their backs on you, Kifkin. They're trying to open the door, which shouldn't have been locked.
What I would like to do is, in the most quiet of fury, just walk casually like he's read about in all the old stories, like a commissar. Put the barrel of his Inferno pistol to this man's head and just pull the trigger.
Alright. I will have him go down. As,
in the smoke-filled room, you just hear the hawking of the thickest of loogies and the hitting of it on the back of a helmet.
Right. Matilda, you can't see this because you still have your sight on, of course.
Matilda is just gonna turn her head in the other direction to the other guy and use her jab ability and just psychic.
All right.
Bam
You
him.
will. You can roll me a psychic check.
Nope.
No. Oh. Yep. Very successful. Next up, Sylvania.
Can I use my movement to walk up to the window?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you can. You drive David down into the acid on your action and drown him. And we'll take the 2 of you out of initiative. Because what happens is what we'll come back to next season on you. Putting us back to the top, Vasily, are you the one to execute the other soldier?
He's still trying to run?
He is struggling to open the door, yes.
Just tie the rope off onto the desk as best I can.
Hmm?
Pull out my chainsword and make a mess.
All right. If you hit, that will take him out.
All right. Yep. That is not that good, but 7 plus 4, so 11?
Yeah, I'll take it. He's defenseless, so. So that puts out of combat. And into the aftermath of the first season of Inquisitor. As next season we will have to dig up Sefenia's husk inside the power armor, and we'll see how much of it survived intact. You have a moment to discuss among each other before we wrap up the session. As you see bubbling in the lake of acid below.
Matilda walks back to her body, resumes herself, and Weekend walks through the room to join Kipkin, reaches into her pocket, pulls out the Inquisitorial seal, and pushes it into his hand. Have fun, Kipkin.
You sure about this?
It was never really mine to take.
Oh. Huh?
I need to get a boat. And he just, seal in hand, like, just with what little fury this weakened body has, kicks down the door in front of the corpse that he just made and just strides out.
Leaving Vasily and Matilda.
Vasily's going to try to clear the smoke. I imagine he didn't see that.
Well, with the window gone, the smoke quickly dissipates.
Ah, so I did see that, huh?
Yes.
Vasily's just going to look to her and tilt his head. Madam Inquisitor?
Loath though I am to say it, perhaps you were right, Priscilla. You have an Inquisitor to serve, and an Emperor. You should go now.
And what of you?
I have a planet to save. There will be no exterminatus here.
Put on flamer on the back and chainsword. So we march on. Look to Donnie. Look back to Matilda.
He's goes
Madam
got his
Inquisitor.
gun in the hand.
Madam Inquisitor. I advise you. Take care of that one. Go to the window and see if Sefenia has, come up from the acid.
No, the lake is silent.
Just step back and go through the door that Kifkin made, stepping over the corpse.
You hear in a different voice as you walk through the door. Come on, Vasily.
I briefly miss just sticking with Matilda. Clear my throat and go with Kifkin.
All right. And as you walk out, Donnie puts a comforting hand on Matilda's shoulder as we wrap up the season of Inquisitor. So, did we enjoy ourselves today?
It's marvelous.
Well, I really loved Safenia getting nat 20s. That was a highlight for me.
Mhm.
Getting to see Safenia be a badass is always very exciting.
The idea of Safenia taking a tank cannon round to the chest and then standing up, brushing herself off and going, really? Okay.
You were
Turning
so
fire down the
lucky
barrel.
on your toughness rolls.
Oh, God. That was,
Freaking protects.
yes.
So many.
The dice told the story on this one, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least
I
as far as
think
Safenia is concerned. The dice told her story. I couldn't have asked for a better finale for her. Really could not have.
And technically, there's no ending yet. And
This is true.
We'll discuss how we come back. So let's actually go around our cast and crew, see how we enjoyed today, and where can we find you online in our break, at least. Let's start with you, Safenia, because you loved taking a dive, I think.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Clerk of Ford, and this was the kind of finale that you really want as a player for your character. If you're gonna wrap it up, you want those nat 20s, you want those rolls, you want those big hits, you want the big saves, and the dice. RNGesus was with me today. Gotta say that. And so yeah, don't know what's gonna happen with Safenia. How much is power armor gonna protect her from a lake of acid? We'll see. But she did what she was trained to do, and that deed is done. And that was her thought. I'm at Cleric of Court pretty much everywhere, mostly on the Twitters. I have a pinned tweet. Still got a couple of games going on. You can find me tomorrow night on Mad Birds playing in an all evil campaign. Dina, my little tiefling draconic bloodline sorcerer who has a thing for fire. Go figure. And then again on Sunday, Wednesday, the finale, we're wrapping up a mini campaign over on at Other Docs channel with Robot Hamlet versus Robot Richard III, where I get to play Kate the Shrew from Shakespeare, and that is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And then Sundays, you can find me at the Arcana Code playing Trixie, who is an Eladrin warlock, whose patron happens to be a fellow by the name of Puck.
Nice.
Check my pinned tweet.
Yeah. Pope, Kifkin.
Pope World Build here. You can find me with that name all over the Twitter. World Build here on the Twitch. Starting out with this campaign and with Kifkin, I never expected this little adept's heart to break. But it did. I was not prepared. Like I said at the beginning, I was not prepared. Apparently, I didn't want Safenia to go. I wasn't ready. As for where you can find me, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, you can find me over on Counter Josh's channel as we continue on in the slightly more hopeful Long March. And then on Wednesday night, I am super excited about this, over on Tales from the Grim. We will be doing a Q&A session for May Black Roses Bloom ahead of the start of their third season, where I get to ask all these wonderful people a ton of questions. So I look forward to seeing you there and all around Twitch. Till next time, take care, and remember, always be open to surprises.
Definitely. Jason, Vasily.
Just Jason, please, on Twitter, and blown away with this. I really was expecting Vasily to bite the dust on this one, to be perfectly honest. And just now in service to another potentially more terrifying Inquisitor is going to be very interesting dynamic that perhaps will finally see Vasily taking flight or taking fight. It's really it's really up in the air. Sad to see Matilda go as the boss. It's very strange, but
As your boss.
yeah, as my boss. But still, I mean, you know, might have had disagreements with management, but you don't want to see your old manager get fired. Like, come on. That was wonderful. I'm so glad to be here. Glad for the break, but really looking forward to seeing where we go next.
Matilda. Charlie. Oh, Jason, where can we find you online? That's the last. Don't forget.
Sure, at Just Jason, please, on Twitter, Nerdsmith channel tomorrow, and a few other places. Check the pin tweet, and yeah, because I have one of those now. I'm caught up with the times, and yeah, just all my best and all my love to not only the viewers but to this fantastic crew.
All right. Then let's continue. Last, not least, our Inquisitor, Matilda, Charlie.
I'm at Frost of Fire on the Twitters. My power keeps dipping. It's very dramatic here. I will be on the Q&A that Pope Build mentioned on Wednesday as I'm joining the May Black Roses Bloom cast for next season. Whole heap of stuff coming up this week. The premiere of the Game of Thrones game on RPG Webby's channel that I will be taking part in begins this week. Jason is also in that, so come and see us in action. And on Sunday, we have our Q&A following the Lost Girls finale this weekend. So, yeah, lots of things going on this week. Check out my pin tweet that has most of the places I will be at. I'm very interested to see what the next season brings, as all the options are open. And maybe some doors are closed. But when you're a psycho, doors don't matter that much.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anything from you, Bastian, before we hand over to the wonderful Ravnica Unleashed D&D Learn to Play, which is coming up straight after us. Oh, did we miss?
No, we started with.
Yeah, no, it's you.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's been a long season. Yeah.
It's been a season, I'm sorry.
I
I want to hear from Safenia again, okay? Can we just...
I want to hear. I accidentally killed
Don't worry.
Safenia, guys. Come on.
You didn't accidentally kill Safenia.
Yeah.
I didn't help. Let's put it that way.
On the subject of
Safenia
not
had
helping,
questions.
let's not go there.
Yeah.
Bastian, any final words from our wonderful DM for the season?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this season. I haven't DM'd in quite a while, so it's always a joy to get to put to words what happens in my mind when thinking of plot lines and villains and scenery. And yeah, I really enjoyed seeing the four of you have so much fun, both with the characters as with the story. So yeah, really looking forward to next season. We'll see what we come up with for that one. Got to be different, but it's got to be fun. You can find me online on this channel, sometimes playing Divinity Original Sin, which we might play in the break if we find the time. And you can find me on my website, which I linked in chat right now. I do engineering for this channel and some other clients as well. So hook me up if poke at me if you want tips or anything, and we'll take it from there. But for now, we will hand you off to a tunnel first, and then to Ravnica Unleashed. Is it also their finale?
I'm not sure, but it might be.
Yeah,
We have lots of guns loaded, ready to go, goblins, and all sorts of goodies. So even if it's not the finale, it's going to be a big episode because it always is when that cast gets unleashed in the wonderful D&D game.
So for now, the Emperor be with you all, and we will see you next season of Inquisitor.